Hi, and welcome back to the Bad Back Gardener. This video here today is an update on my wintering of my tropical plants that I keep outside, that I grew outside during the summer. I didn't want to lose the plants. They did so well outside here in the spring and summer and fall, and they grew really well. I didn't want to lose some of my tropical plants that I wanted to keep, and so I didn't have to start them from small plants again this spring. So between the time that I brought them in and then the time that I can put them out where it's warm enough in the spring again, I wanted to make sure that they were going to not suffer too much damage or die altogether. I've always kept some plants in my palm trees that I've gathered seeds and stuff from Florida that I've grown from the seed. I've always had like the blue and red lights on them, which creates your purple effect, which I didn't like all that much. I have gotten, since, if you've seen my videos, I've gotten new lights that are full spectrum plant lights, and they're not your traditional blue and red purple looking lights. These ones are more like sunlight, which I really like. It brightens up the room a lot as well. But the plants seem to be responding to them very nicely. They aren't suffering too much at all, which is really good. They're actually growing in here, not just maintaining what they are. They're actually growing new leaves and stuff. So that makes a big difference. I think we're going to do very well. Bring them back out in the spring. We're going to have full-fledged plants that I can put out right out in the garden and the patio area for tropical plants. This is really nice. So I have some, and I'll give you a close-up on some of these plants. You get a little bit of brown spot on them, but really they're growing new shoots, new leaves. So they're doing really well in here, and I'm real happy with how they're turning out. But we got some palm trees, got a couple banana plants that are doing really well that I wanted to make sure that they survived over the winter. I've got some bird of paradise here that they're growing real well, and probably every year I'm going to end up having a few more of these. I got a few sections throughout the house that have lights in them like this. I got some smaller palms here in the back that were outside in the summertime. They probably need transplanted here pretty soon. And then I got some of these other plants here that I've gathered bulbs when I've been in Florida, mainly Disney World. I've gathered some bulbs that were on the ground and grown them. I got a lot of these plants. They're pretty, once I get the bulbs, they pretty much all come up when I bring them home. But I got a whole bunch of those plants in the plant room in there. These ones here were outside. There's a few more that were outside. I keep some outside, I keep some inside. The ones that are outside during the summertime get much bigger. They're doing really well. At some point, hopefully, I'm going to get those bulbs to flower. And they come in like blue and pink and white flowers, so or I think maybe even purple that I've seen them down in Disney World. So hopefully sometime I'll be able to get those to flower. But my main goal was to keep them overwintered, and they seem to be doing pretty good. So there's the bird of paradise, a couple of those. This is a date palm, which was about dead here not too long ago, probably this time last year, if not into the summertime. I took it outside in the summer, and I did have it come back some. It doesn't look the greatest, but it is growing. It's shooting up new shoots in here, so I think it's happy again. And then I have banana plants. As you can see, a little bit of brown on the fringes, but that happens outside as well. But they're growing new shoots all through them. And then these are those bulbs I was talking about. They're nice plants. And if somebody knows what they are, please contact me or shoot me an email. Tell me what exactly these are, because I do not know for sure. But then these are the palm trees that I've grown from seed years and years ago. It's been quite a few years ago I gathered these two palm trees. And that one's probably a good 5 feet tall. That one's probably 6 feet tall or more that I've grown them. And they go outside during the summer and fall and a little bit in the spring, and they've been overwintered for many years. But usually during the winter time, those suffer big time. By the time spring rolls around, they are dried brown and not looking good. But these lights here seem to be working. They're actually growing instead of just surviving. So, and then back there, as you can see, there's a little pot of a palm tree that was outside last year, and back in here, back in there, there's also a little pot of palm trees. Now back here in my plant room, some of these were also outside during the summer. This sago palm, that sago palm there, and I think there were some of those, are some more of those bulb plants back in there, and they too are under one of these lights that I put up recently, and they're doing good too and growing. Now some of those stay in, I've had indoors a lot during the winter time. Some of these just stay inside. Some of the bigger ones are outside and seem to be doing okay. And then this is where I overwinter my Dracaena. It's in my garage. Now the garage does get close to freezing. It usually stays a little bit above freezing. Average temperature during the winter time is probably in the 40s in the garage here. It's an attached garage, so it gets a little bit of heat from the house, and I do supplement it a little bit with a few small heaters in here. I'll turn them on for a few hours to bring the temperature up, and I can get the temperature up if I do that during the winter time in the garage here into the 60s if I really want to, but I can warm it up into the mid 40s to 50s. A lot of times I'll just do that to try and help these plants out. The Dracaena, they seem to do pretty good in here. I add a couple more every year. It seems like my garage gets a little fuller, but right here you can actually see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Dracaenas that will go out into the garden again, and then every spring I trim them up, make them look a lot nicer, but they survive. And then actually this year I'm trying, if you've seen any of my other videos here, there's a canna lily right there, and it's still, I didn't think it was going to make it, and it's still alive now. Whether I may be able to get it to grow again here come spring. Once I trim back all the dead stuff, maybe it'll shoot back up, but there are some leaves that are alive still on it, so surprisingly. And then if you look back in there, elephant ears. I got elephant ears. They're not looking real great, but they're actually putting up new shoots on that side. So let me see if I can get over here. They're actually putting up new leaves here. So the elephant ears are actually surviving in the cold of the garage, which very much surprises me. Now they're not looking great. They've got yellow and brown leaves. They're dying off, the old leaves, but they're putting out new leaves. So that means they're not like completely dying back. So hopefully again, when I put those out in the spring, that they're going to shoot up pretty good, pretty fast. Okay, that's going to do it for this video of my update on how I'm overwintering my outside tropical plants. Catch up with me on Facebook. You can also email me at bbgardner@zoominternet.net. And as always, if your back ain't hurting, you ain't working.